Hi, this is Katie, and thank you for joining me on the My Senses, My Space podcast. And today I wanted to talk about some organizing wins and actually how to categorize organizing and cleaning and decluttering and those deep cleans that you do, because each one of them kind of have a different theme of what your brain is trying to do. So I had heard from online, and I don't know where it's coming from. Honestly, I've kind of heard it through different people. So I have heard that like decluttering, organizing, and cleaning are three very different things. And so when you're trying to declutter, your brain is trying to process like, will I ever use this again? Do I need this in my life? And then organizing is actually looking at the things you have left and almost figuring out a puzzle of how they're going back in creating homes for them. And then cleaning is just kind of separate from both of those, right? Regular everyday cleaning, you're not constantly organizing. You're not having like this emotional pull of should this stay in my house or not. But then I also thought, well, what about deep cleaning? That's kind of in maintenance mode where you're doing things that are being done at a certain interval. So whether it's once a year, once a season, once a month, once a week. So probably more, the once a week stuff is more like cleaning, I guess. So just thinking more like, yeah, at least once a month, if not more seasonally. So when I saw that there was actually like almost these 4 things, I love when I see 4 things because then I ask, can these kind of be applied to the earth elements that I really love to use? Because in this way, it helps me look at the themes of them. It helps me remember why my brain shifts, why my brain does different things, why I think differently at different times, why, I don't know, it makes a lot of sense to me. And when I put things in categories, it helps me also to compartmentalize. So I'm like, okay, I'm only doing this kind of activity today, and then I'm moving on to something else. Because if I bounce between these things, that's when I feel the overwhelm. That's when I feel like just my brain is overtaxed, and I'm trying to think of like an equivalent. So it's sometimes your brain, like if you're talking to a group of people, it's kind of this output mode. Say you're standing in front of a very small group of people. It doesn't have to be large. Your brain is in this like, okay, I'm outputting. And then if you're in a one-on-one conversation with someone, it's this give and take. So your brain's like, okay, a little bit of output, a little bit of input. And then when you're actually learning something, it's like all input. And so I know myself that I need these longer transitions between those types of activities. It really helps me to go, okay, I'm switching to a different type of activity that my brain is going to process differently so that I can do it better. And so I'm not as distracted or feeling that push and pull or feeling like, and I recognize when I'm not giving myself that time for transitions, I'm not realizing how much I'm feeling that push and pull, then I'm like, okay, now doesn't feel like the right time. Like I feel in my body, I'm going to have to put this off and do this at a different time because this is not the right time for this. So here are the 4 categories that I put these in, and I feel really good about them. I thought once I looked at these, it was really inspiring. So, they are kind of out of order of each other. So I'm thinking that I'm going to list them in the order of the elements first to show, and it's easier to go through those elements. And then I'm going to talk about like how to use them. So for me, I go from the top down. Actually, no, I just did my mail organizing and we started with Earth first. So let's start there. So earth to me is like those deep cleaning moments and those maintenance things. So when you are like really deep cleaning something and you get out extra products, you're getting out extra like rags and things, and you're sitting down and you know that this process might take a while. You're deep cleaning your bathroom, you're deep cleaning things that before you only did surface stuff. So this is a very kind of grounding activity. You go deep, you are really concentrated on all the details, and you kind of feel like this kind of connection. Sometimes you actually get down on the floor to do it. Sometimes I make sure I have everything laid out in front of me. There's a lot of preparation in this. And you also are attacking these things. You are planning these things in advance. Like sometimes we come across and go, oh, I'm going to just deep clean this thing. If you're inspired and you have the energy. But a lot of times I have to put these on my to-do list as, okay, this Saturday, I get to some time for deep cleaning. And I'm not talking about deep organizing or deep decluttering. Like that will come up later. This is like actually taking a toothbrush to things, oiling things up to make sure they're moving correctly. Just any kind of maintenance activity. And so to me, I connect with the earth for that. Moving upward to water, this is what I'm relating to for decluttering, because there is a lot of emotional attachment to things when you're trying to let them go. So when you are sitting down with a box of things, and it can be small, decluttering doesn't have to be a huge activity. You could do a deep declutter, but to me, a deep declutter, again, is not cleaning things. You're actually processing your emotions and your emotional attachments to these objects. And water is definitely one of those emotional elements to connect to. You're letting the emotions run through you, and you're allowing yourself to have these emotions and to kind of say goodbye to some of these things where you're like, okay, yes, now is the time to let them go. And so they can flow through not only are your emotions flowing through you, but the objects are flowing through you and out of your life. And you're only keeping the things that really mean a lot to you. The next one up is fire. So to me, that is the daily cleaning type stuff that's daily or weekly, that is, you're really touching upon surfaces. You are very busy and active, and you're tending to all the hot spots in your house. So hot spots in the mean like those places that always catch a lot of mail, a lot of things that you just drop off, kind of absentmindedly. It could be dishes that you just didn't have the energy to do the day before or that night. And so this is definitely a look around at, you're looking at multiple rooms sometimes, you're looking at multiple stations, multiple areas, and you're kind of looking around the house at what is the most important to make me, I want to clean these up because it'll make me feel a little bit calmer. It's part of our daily rituals and activities. It's not part of a singular activity you do once a year. It is, definitely tending to those hot spots. And to me, there's a lot more activity of just moving from room to room and spot to spot around the house just to take care of them. And the last one is air. And so this, the equivalent to me is organizing. And this is a lot of problem solving and thinking about, how do I use these objects in this certain part of my house? Am I setting up stations? Am I setting up a studio? Am I setting up a certain area to do an activity? And thinking about how these things fit into a drawer, into a bin, to a basket, whatever it is, takes some puzzling. It's like putting a little puzzle together. And so You're seeing how do those things find their home and fit together, and you're thinking about how you use them and how easy is it to retrieve them, how easy is it to put them away. And so it's definitely a lot of thinking, and air is a lot of mental activity. So yeah, when I saw these, it just started making a whole lot more sense to me, and I hope it does for you too. So when I then look at the activities, they're kind of in a different order, right? Daily cleaning is this like fire energy that's kind of, you could be using the last of your fire energy for the day just to get them done. But then when you're doing some more like getting rid of things and reorganizing things, you're using like air and water, depending on, as I mentioned, like trying to think about how things fit together is very different from like parting with things and feeling them emotionally. But you could be doing some of those on the same day. And then like any kind of maintenance stuff, you know, having that earth energy is definitely like way out on the schedule, and, you know, could be performed by other people as well. It could be, you know, oil change for your car. It could be having your HVAC, you know, serviced in your house or something. And so I see these different energies kind of coming in and out of your life when you need them. So I found this interesting. If you have like any thoughts about this, I would love to hear. Email me at listen@mysensesmyspace.com. And I would love to see, like, does this ring true to you? Do these kind of resonate with you too? And does it help in any way to notice that you're kind of going between these different energies as you're doing these different things? I hope that helps. So until next time, thank you for joining me on the My Senses, My Space podcast.